We've been looking at God's intention for rest. Rest is something that God created for us. It's our starting point, not our finishing point. And when we come into God's rest, that's when we get renewed, we get revitalized, and that's when our soul becomes clear. So we think more clearly, we become more precise in our decision making. In fact, when you operate from a place of rest, you actually operate at your best. You see, when you are exhausted, when you're tired, that's when mistakes are made. That's when you overlook things and you don't see things that you're supposed to see because your brain isn't functioning at its full capacity. But when you're in that place of rest, not only at your best, you are clear in your mind, you are clear in the strategies, and you become more efficient and you become more productive. That's the power of rest. And so how do we get into that rest? Well, the first thing is you can't busy yourself so much that you leave rest out of your life. In fact, you have to set boundaries. You have to actually carve out intentionally times for rest, whether it's weekly, whether it's daily, or whether it's annually. You know, every day, take 45 minutes to an hour just to yourself to begin to do things that renew you, whether it's working out or whether it's doing a hobby or just simply spending time with God and just enjoying His presence. Whatever allows you to come alive. When you come alive, those are the moments that you find rest begins to restore you on the inside. And then weekly, you know, take that day to carve out for yourself and maybe just spend a few hours. I often say to my wife, you know, take 3 or 4 hours just to write, because when she writes, she gets creative. When she gets creative, she comes alive. When she comes alive, she comes out beaming and she feels so good. It's actually restored her because she's able to do something that brings life into her whole spirit, soul, and body. And then there's that vacation time, those 2 weeks that you need to take off. In fact, if you are a leader or if you're in high-powered leadership, there was a study done recently that if you really want to get back into the fullness of being your best through rest, you actually need about 6 weeks vacation a year. And you see, the first 2 weeks, you may not realize you don't actually get rested. It's actually learning how to stop. Your body has been in so much stress. It's been in so much energy, giving out. It doesn't know how to stop and renew. So the first 2 weeks is about stopping. The next 2 weeks is about the renewal, beginning to fill that tank. And then after that tank kind of gets to equilibrium, the next 2 weeks is simply where you really begin to fill that tank beyond, so that you are over and above, more strengthened and empowered, so that when you go back to work, you're not emptying the tank, you're actually coming from the place of overflow. And so when you begin to give yourself permission to rest, what you do is you value yourself. You are important, and if you are important, then you need to do things which are important for you, and rest is one of those things. And when you find that place of rest, you need to find what I call your God spot, that sweet spot with God, the place where you connect. Different ones, if it's different. Some people are very contemplative and need to be alone in a quiet place, or in some of you like to be in nature. Others of you love worship music or whatever it might be. Take that place, the thing that connects you with God, that allows you so that He can minister to you and you can minister to Him, because in that place your soul gets so renewed, because it's in that place you find joy. And when you begin to find the things that bring you joy, like for me it's cooking, for my wife it's writing, for other people it might be music or a hobby, but then having that time with God together releases the joy. Why? Because in Nehemiah it says the joy of the Lord is your strength. And so I want to encourage you, intentionally begin to carve out time, whether it's daily, weekly, annually, for those times of rest. And give yourself permission to do it. Don't feel it's a luxury. Rest is not a luxury, it's a necessity. It's there to allow you to become the best you. And when you're your best you, then everything around you flourishes. And so I'm praying that over these coming days and weeks, you'll begin to allow rest to be part of your life. Let it become your starting point. Don't wait to the end, because you'll never get refreshed. Start from the place of refreshing. Start from the place of clarity. And then everything that you do will be blessed. This is Steve Chua.